GIF stands for Graphics Interchange Format. Developed by American computer scientist Steve Wilhite on June 15, 1987, it's popular because it's widely supported by web browsers and can even be animated. Now that is awesome. There are many ways to create a GIF. We're going to create a frame animation. Frame animations are a lot like flipbooks in that they have a similar shape, just in a different position. That creates the illusion of movement. To get started, you're going to need a simple image to animate. I've chosen monkey cartoon. It's important that this image has a transparent background. There are a couple of ways to do that. You can choose Tools, Color, Transparent, or you can simply include the word transparent in your Google search. I'm shopping for a monkey that I like. I think I'll choose this one. To make sure that we have a transparent background, be sure to double check that you see the checkers. Right-click, save your image, and make sure you know where you're keeping it. In this case, it'll be in my downloads. Once you've launched Photoshop, choose Open, then locate the file. From here, our first step is to create more space in our canvas. We want to animate this monkey, so we need plenty of room. So we're going to choose Image, Canvas Size. A lot of GIFs are squares, so I'm going to go with a square shape. I'm going to choose 15 by 15. That also is 1080 by 1080 in pixels. Choose OK. Let's go ahead and zoom out, Control minus, so we can see our whole canvas. From here, we're going to need to set up our timeline. Choose Window, Timeline, and notice there are two choices. You can create a video timeline or a frame animation. We'll choose frame animation. And create. Before we work on our timeline, we're going to prepare our layers. Layers are kind of like pages in our flipbook. I'm going to start by renaming layer 1 M1 for monkey 1, or whatever makes sense to you. Then take the monkey and drag it to the position where you want the animation to begin. I think I'll start at the top and have him fall eventually to the bottom. Next, I'll make a copy of M1 by dragging it to the new layer icon. Let's rename this one M2. Take M2 and move it to the position where you want him to go next in the animation. Let's do the same for M3. It's important that you make a copy of M2 so that you start out in the position where you left off when you move it. Pull it to the third position, make a copy of M3, rename it M4, and drag it to your final position. You can create as many layers as you'd like, but we'll start with 4. Now that we have our pages, let's arrange our flipbook by setting up our timeline. Notice that we have one frame. We're going to add 1, 2, 3 more frames to have 4 total to match the number of layers that we have prepared. Now, look at frame 1. You can see all 4 monkeys. All we need to do to make sure we only see M1 is return to our layers panel and turn off the visibility with the eye icon of numbers 2 through 4. Next, we'll go to frame 2 and tell Photoshop that we only want to see M2 and not M1. Then we'll go to frame 3 and tell Photoshop we want to see M3 and nothing else. Lastly, we'll go to frame 4 and make sure we can only see M4. Believe it or not, our frame animation is almost complete. In the timeline, we can choose the play button to preview what we've done. Notice that it only plays through 1 time per click. There's a few settings that we'll want to change. One is here. Notice the word once should be changed to forever. Let's press play again. Now we can see our monkey moves in a loop, like all of the GIFs that we see on the internet. Now, if the monkey is moving a little fast for you, or even a little slow, notice that we also can control the time interval of each frame. We can change each one individually, or we can shift to select the whole group and change the delay from 1 second to, let's try 1/10 of a second, and press play again. Notice we're moving a little more slowly. Before learning how to export and finish our GIF, let's look at a couple of fun bonus skills. We can add a colorful background by first adding a blank layer and then choosing the paint bucket and any color to fill the background. Now notice that the whole panel is red and we can't see the monkey anymore. Be sure to move this to the very bottom of your layers panel. And notice it was automatically added to all 4 of my frames. Let's also experiment with changing the size or shape of the monkey rather than just the position in our animation. I'm going to make a copy of M4. Let's name it, of course, M5. And then I'm first going to move the monkey a little bit lower like we've been doing in our animation, but next I'm going to choose Control T or transform. I'm going to hold the Shift button to unlock the constraints, and I'm going to squish the monkey to the bottom. Let's accept that change. Return to our timeline. Add an additional frame for monkey 5, and then notice we will need to go in and correct our original frames to not include monkey 5. Let's check. Looks good. Just M3. Frame 4 looks correct, and now frame 5 needs monkey 5. Let's press play again. Now that our animation is complete, let's get it saved as a .gif file. We're going to choose File, Export, Save for Web. You'll see a large dialog box open with a lot of choices. Generally, I keep these settings about the same as default. Choose Save. Make sure you know where you're saving your GIF. Save again. And you're done. From here you can test the file or even find a web host. Giphy.com is extremely popular and it's a great way to share your finished GIFs. Here you can see my completed monkey GIF alongside some of my others. Thanks for tuning in and be on the lookout for some of my other videos to learn a few additional ways to make GIFs.